Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Another baseball doubleheader coming your way today on this Saturday afternoon as the Bellevue University Bruins take on the visiting Dakota State University Trojans out of Madison, South Dakota. The Bellevue Bruins rated number 3 in the NAIA Top 25 for the second consecutive rating period. The Bruins are 38-3 overall, a perfect 18-0 in the Frontier Conference, and on a 26-game winning streak. If they win the first game today, they will tie the 2017 squad for the longest winning streak in Bellevue history. Have a chance to break it with a doubleheader sweep today. For the Dakota State Trojans, they are currently 16-24-1 overall on the year, 8-10-1 in the Frontier Conference. This is the only game in the Frontier Conference on this Friday and Saturday, as all the other games scheduled to be played up in North Dakota have been pushed back to Sunday, Monday starts because of the cold weather blowing through the Peace Garden State. Bruins have won the first 3 games in this 5-game series. On Tuesday afternoon in Madison, the Bruins thumped the Trojans 25-10. And in yesterday's doubleheader, Bruins winning Game 1 9-4, and then Game 2 by a score of 8-7. So yesterday's games were pretty competitive throughout the entire 7 and 9 inning stints of the doubleheader. Today is also Senior Day here at Bellevue University. 11 seniors will be honored after today's doubleheader, along with many of their family members and friends, as we celebrate their time at Bellevue University baseball. We'll have more about those young men and their achievements as we get into today's action. Here now are the starting lineups for both teams. First of all, the visiting team, the Dakota State Trojans. Their head coach, Darian Hardy, in his 7th year. This is his starting lineup. Leading off and playing center field will be Connor Rainey. Batting second and playing second base is Aiden Perry. The 3-hole hitter is the catcher, Cameron Haller. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Cameron DeMaria. Batting 5th and playing third base is George Hogan. Batting 6th, the shortstop, Cameron Kittredge. Batting 7th, the designated hitter, Aiden Marsh. Batting 8th and playing right field is Hunter DeBoer. And batting 9th, the left fielder, Aiden Barfus. Again, the lineup, Rainey, Perry, Haller, DeMaria, Hogan, Kittredge, Marsh, DeBoer, and Barfus. Pretty much the same starting lineup that we saw yesterday for the Trojans. On the mound today is Ryland Carroll. Carroll with a 3-win, 5-loss record on the season, a 9.07 earned run average. This will be his 11th appearance on the season, 10 of those as a starting pitcher. He has thrown 40 2/3 innings on the year, has struck out 41, and walked 28. That's the lineup for the visiting Dakota State Trojans. Here now the starting lineup for the home team, the Bellevue University Bruins. Again, the Bruins 38-3 overall, have not lost a game since way back in early March on the Florida trip. Bruins winning another conference championship, still with the whole weekend to go, 6 games to go in conference play. The Bruins have already achieved the conference championship for the Frontier Conference. Leading it off for the Bruins and playing second base is Nick Gravel. Batting second for the Bruins and playing third base is Oak Held. The 3-hole hitter for the Bruins, first baseman Carter Clairhout. The cleanup hitter for the Bruins is left fielder Aiden Macaris. Batting 5th and catching Xavier Lerma. The 6-hole hitter is a designated hitter Dylan Holmes. Batting 7th and playing right field is Anthony Lind. Batting 8th, the shortstop, Mason Spellacy. And batting 9th, the center fielder, Jalen Ruffin. On the mound today for the Bruins, right-hander Braden Anderson. Braden is the reigning Frontier Conference Pitcher of the Week. He picked up 2 wins for his efforts in last week's competition. So Braden coming in with an 8-0 record, perfect in his now 11 starts, a 3.08 in his earned run average. That's tops in the Frontier Conference. On the year, Braden has thrown 52 2/3 innings. He has struck out 44 and walked 17. So a very good strikeout to walk ratio for Anderson. Teams lined up on the field now. The Trojans in the navy blue uniforms, the Bruins with our white pants and purple tops as we get ready for our national anthem. All right, we are just about ready to play ball. The Dakota State Trojans and the Bellevue University Bruins. Temperature conditions similar to what we saw yesterday. 51 degrees at first pitch. The wind out of the northwest once again today at about 15 miles per hour. So a breezy day. We don't expect as severe a wind gust as we saw yesterday. The highest gust yesterday was around 40 miles per hour. So steady at about 15 today from the northwest. That means blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. We saw a couple of wind-aided home runs to right field yesterday. Might have some similar situations today. The Bruins take the field. Let's set the defense for the home team. The first baseman is Carter Clairhout. Nick Gravel is at second. The shortstop is Mason Spellacy, and Oak Held is at third. Across the outfield, Aiden Macris is in left field. Jalen Ruffin is in center, and Anthony Lind is in right. The battery for the Bruins, Xavier Lerma behind the plate. And on the mound is Braden Anderson. We gave you Braden's credentials on the year. Perfect 8 wins and no losses. This is his 11th start of the season. One complete game for Braden as the Bruins trying to keep this consecutive win streak going, trying to have an unbeaten year in conference play. Last year, the Bruins only lost 1 game in conference play. They're perfect so far today, or this year. A couple of guys had some real good performances in yesterday's doubleheader. Can you get that one up there? All right, get the jugs gun set up here. A couple of the top performers in yesterday's doubleheader. Carter Clairhout had a 7-for-9 day, a double, an RBI, and 4 runs scored. Fellow Albertan Aiden Macris, 3-for-5 with a double and 2 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Oak Held had a 3-for-8 day and 3 runs scored. For the Trojans, Cameron Kittredge, a shortstop, also had a good day at the plate. He was 5-for-7, including a home run and 4 runs scored. Aiden Barfus was 5-for-7 with 3 runs batted in coming out of the bottom of the order. And Connor Rainey was 4-for-8 with a double and 2 runs. Speaking of Connor Rainey, he will lead things off for the Trojans as we get ready for the top of the first inning. Braden Anderson on the mound for the Bruins. Mostly sunny right now. We might see a few more clouds filter in during the course of the day. Here's the first pitch from Braden Anderson. Fastball hit on the ground. Oak Held with a diving stop going to his glove hand side. Rights himself and throws a strike to Clairhout at first. A nice play by the Bruins third baseman at the hot corner. Next up for the Trojans, second baseman Aiden Perry.
Batting second baseman, number 4, Aiden Perry.
Perry on the season hitting .333. Left-handed batter, wide open stance as he awaits the pitch from Anderson. Braden comes set just above the belt. Another pitch, and that too in the strike zone. Both teams feature guys at the top of the order that can get on base. Bruins and Trojans, their top two guys on base at better than a 450 clip on the season. That fastball off the outside edge. Mid-80s is kind of where Braden will top out on his fastballs. Trojans in the navy blue with Trojan blue trim. Bruins in the more traditional white pants and purple and gold trim jerseys. Now 2-1 the count as that breaking ball misses away. Thanks for joining us once again on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Mick Krupski behind the microphone. Doing a solo today thanks to Chris Williamson, who helped out yesterday with the broadcast just off the outside edge. Chris Sintek, the home plate umpire today. Austin Nelson and Michael Endrick on the bases. Three-man umpiring crew for Frontier Conference games. Again, it's senior day. 11 seniors will be honored for their contributions to Bellevue baseball. Trying to hit the outside corner. That stays outside, and Aiden Perry will draw the walk. 1 on, 1 out. Catcher Cameron Haller next up.
Third in the lineup for the Trojans, the catcher, number 44, Cameron Haller.
Haller, the number 44 on his jersey. Old guys like me remember number 44 is being worn by Henry Aaron and Willie McCovey, Reggie Jackson. With the runner on the pitch, that was lined foul up the left field side past head coach Darian Hardy. Starting time straight up at 1 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Anderson with the set, the hold, and now the pitch. Missing inside, 1-1 the count. Perry, the runner at first, not a big threat to steal, only 2 bags on the season. Throw over to first base, not nearly in time. Brutus the Bruin staring up at you from behind home plate. We're at the new Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Complex. This is just the 14th game played at this new baseball facility. Bellevue has won all 3 of the previous 13. There's a pitch for a strike call, top of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Again, the wind blowing from the left side to the right field corner today. Not nearly as strong of the gust, but consistent at about 15 miles per hour. That puts a little bite to it. Breaking ball clips the outside corner. And that'll be the first strikeout of the afternoon for Braden Anderson. Now 2 outs on the inning. For the cleanup hitter, first baseman Cameron DeMaria. DeMaria at 6'9", the tallest player on the squad, also the leading hitter, 389 for DeMaria. Runner gets his lead at first as DeMaria waits. Swing and miss on the fastball from Anderson. That might have been a changeup. Came in at about 78 miles per hour, so that's not his top pitch. Took a little something off the velocity there. DeMaria had 1 hit in yesterday's doubleheader. Was on base a couple of times on the hit by pitch. In fact, he was hit by pitches 3 times. Anderson from the set. Chop foul against the facing of the third base dugout occupied by Dakota State. These 2 schools have long been rivals in conference play for the past 9 years as part of the North Star Athletic Association. Now members of the Frontier Conference. Bellevue leads the all-time series. 42 wins for the Bruins to 5 for the Trojans. Up and in. DeMaria right up on the leading edge of the right-hander's batter's box. Throw over to first once again, making sure the runner doesn't get an extensive lead. Anderson, 5'10", 190 pounds, out of Kearney, Nebraska. Another throw over to first base sends Perry back. Braden will be honored along with 10 of his teammates on senior day after the conclusion of baseball action today. Breaking ball hit in the air on the infield. Drifting towards the line, Nick Gravel stays with that, but he does not make the play. Looking up into the sun and drifting with the wind. Really? All right, that'll be a base hit for Cameron DeMaria. Keeps the inning alive.
Batting fifth, third baseman, number 7, George Hogan.
We saw the wind really take hold yesterday, affecting fly balls. We'll see similar scenes today. The next batter for the Trojans, third baseman George Hogan. Braden taking a little extra time. Now he'll deliver. Up and in. Dakota State hitting .310 on the season. 52 home runs for the Trojans. Again, up and in, 2-0 the count. Braden coming in with an 11-1 career record for the Bellevue Bruins. 8-0 this year. There's a breaking ball in the zone. A little bit of a slider there. Quick, sharp movement. His 3.08 earned run average leads the Frontier Conference. 6 schools play baseball in the Frontier Conference, even though there are 12 members in the new grouping. Shortstop flashes behind. Mason Spellacy tried to sneak behind for a pickoff play. We saw the Bruins accomplish that yesterday, picking off a Trojan base runner. Trying to keep Perry from getting a big lead. That one's hit well to left field. Aiden Macaris going back. It's going to get over his head, and it will bounce over the wall. That'll be a ground rule double and a run batted in for George Hogan. Aiden Perry will score from second base. Cameron DeMaria will have to stop at third on the 2-base advance. So the Trojans on the board first this afternoon. They got on the board first yesterday as well.
Bring up the
shortstop Cameron Kittredge is next up. 3 Camerons and 3 Aidens in the Dakota State lineup. Anderson, curveball, strike call, top of the zone, outer half. Popped up to the right side. Anthony Lind has a beat on it. He'll backtrack a couple of steps and glove it for the final out. The Trojans pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There are no errors and 2 men left on base. 1 run in the board. Top of the first, the Trojans 1 and the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat. Again, we invite you to be part of our broadcast. Same number as yesterday. We heard from some nice folks all across the country. 402-515-7654 is the text message number. I'll give that to you several times during the course of the day. Always fun to hear where people are listening in. Let me know where you are, who you are, and any words you want me to pass along on this Saturday afternoon doubleheader. All right, let's take a look at Dakota State defensively. First of all, let's look at the starting pitcher, right-hander Ryland Carroll. A 3-win, 5-loss record on the season, a 9.07 earned run average. This is his 11th appearance on the year, 10 times as a starter. 40 and two-thirds innings for Carroll. He has struck out 38 and walked 28. Defensively, pretty much the same we saw in yesterday's doubleheader. Across the infield, Cameron DeMaria is at first base. Aiden Perry is at second. Cameron Kittredge is the shortstop, and George Hogan, the third baseman. In the outfield, Aiden Barfus is in left, Connor Rainey in center, and Hunter DeBoer in right. Behind the plate, Cameron Haller catching the offerings from pitcher Ryland Carroll. All right, Space Cowboy, the theme music for leadoff hitter Nick Gravel. Gravel had a tough time at the plate in yesterday's doubleheader until his last at-bat when he got an RBI single, his only hit of the day. Also had a sacrifice. Takes the first pitch fastball for a called strike one. Carroll. Second pitch. That one's hit well to right field. Going, and long gone. Nick Gravel with a solo home run to tie the score at 1-1. Gravel coming into the game hitting .390. His average will go up. That is his third home run of the season, and now 31 runs batted in. Gravel touches them all, and we're tied. Bruins did not hit a single home run yesterday, but they got that done early today. Here's third baseman Oak Held. So a successful start for the Bruins offense. Carroll goes to a breaking ball for a strike called. Oak hitting .361 on the year. From the windup, here's the next pitch. That one misses away, 1-1 the count. Working from the middle of the pitcher's rubber. The next pitch on the knees for a called strike. 85 miles per hour, so both pitchers featuring fastballs in the mid-80s. First year in the program for Oak. Takes that pitch upstairs, evens the count at 2-2. Here's the next offering from Carroll. That one misses wide. Count will go full. .466, the on-base percentage for Gravel. .454 for Held at the top two in the order, and that will go up for both of them. Gravel with a solo home run, Held with the full count walk. He'll trot down to first base, and stepping to the plate, first baseman Carter Clairhout. As usual, part of his routine, Carter does a little groundskeeping with his spikes before he steps into the left-handed batter's box. He'll dig in that back foot first and then get ready to hit. Called strike one on the first pitch. Upper outer quadrant of the strike zone. Nice crowd on hand on this kind of chilly day. The average temperature this time of the year is the low to mid 60s, so we're about 10 degrees below that. Clairhout fouls it out of play, left side. Carter, the team leader at .487 on his average. That's in the top 10 in the country in the NAIA. 54 runs batted in, 17 home runs. That's tops in those two categories as well. Opposite way, left fielder settling underneath it. Aiden Barfus will make the catch for the first out of the inning. Yesterday, Carter was 7 for 9 in the doubleheader, but he's retired in his first at-bat today. Fellow Alberta, Canada native Aiden Macaris, Bellevue left fielder, steps in. Aiden had 5 hits in the doubleheader yesterday. First pitch fastball for a strike one call. Aiden hitting .356. Frontier Conference newcomer of the year last year. Clairhout has a good chance to be the Frontier Conference newcomer of this year. 1-1 to count on Aiden. Okotoks, Alberta, his hometown. Red Deer, Alberta, the hometown of Carter Clairhout. Down low, 2-1. Going to be hard for a right-handed hitter to jack one out of here today with the wind coming in from that left side to the right side. That one's hit to left center field. Couple outfielders giving chase. Who's going to take charge? It'll be the left fielder, Aiden Barfus. Back-to-back catches for him. And there are 2 outs in the inning. Oakhill remaining at first base. That'll bring up the Bellevue catcher, Xavier Lerma.
Batting fifth in the lineup for the Bruins. Left field, the catcher, number 12, Xavier Lerma.
.339 is Xavier's batting average. Xavier has been a run producer as well for the Bruins. 47 runs batted in. That ties him with Macaris for second place on the Bruins squad this year, behind the 54 of Carter Clairhout. Somebody's got to get that baseball. It'll be Cameron Haller from behind home plate, the first person to notice it. Good hustle, Cameron. 3 Camerons and 3 Aidens on the roster for Dakota State in the starting lineup. Find that a little unusual. Carroll from the stretch. Breaking ball, swung on and miss. Nice horizontal break on that pitch from the right-hander. Hit on the ground and through. Nice turnaround base hit from Xavier Lerma out into center field. Held round second on his way to third. So the Bruin catcher with a solid single to center, put runners at the corners. And we'll wait for a courtesy runner. Yes, number 41, Jackson Polk, will come on to courtesy run. Oh, Dylan Holmes, the Bellevue designated hitter today, will step to the plate.
Courtesy runner number 41, Jackson Polk. Batting 6th in the lineup, designated hitter number 20, Dylan Holmes.
Dylan wearing number 20 on his jersey today. Not quite sure what happened to his number 16, but he'll be number 20 this afternoon. The pitch low and away. I was trying not to mention that. Okay, he forgot it back at his home. So anyway, doesn't matter. 20, 16, whatever. Another run scoring opportunity for the Bruins with 2 outs. That breaking ball is down. Bruins 18-0 at home. 3 games at John Stella Field at Brown Park, and now 15-0 here at the new facility. Down low, 2-1. Polk with the lead at first. Held with the lead in foul territory at third. Breaking ball down low, and that will be a walk for Dylan Holmes. So bases loaded now for right fielder Anthony Lind. Anthony, one of the 11 seniors that'll be honored today.
Number 17, Anthony Lind.
Anthony picked up his 200th career hit in the game on Tuesday. Anthony, the only player in program history to have 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases in his career. He looks at a called strike one. The versatility of the Bruin right fielder. Bases full of Bruins. Carroll working back from the windup now. Looks in, gets the sign from Holler, his catcher. Breaking ball, foul out of play into the parking lot behind us. Oh, and 2. Here's where Anthony will go into protect mode at the plate. Big leads by Bruin base runners. They'll be going on the crack of the bat. That pitch low and away. 1 and 2. Anthony, the only Omaha area guy in the starting lineup. Product of Omaha Central High School. 5-year Bellevue University career, including a redshirt year. Chop foul off his foot at the plate. Count remains at 1 and 2. Bellevue has 8 players from Canada, 1 from Brazil, and representatives from numerous states across the United States of America. Here's the 1-2. Down low, good discipline by Anthony to hold it. 2 and 2 the count. Again, that text message number, if you want to join us this afternoon, 402-515-7654. A lot of moms and dads and family and friends here in person today. That one's lined into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in easily. The second runner coming in right behind him. So Anthony Lind with a 2 RBI single with 2 outs extends the Bruin lead to 3-1. Oakheld comes in first. Jackson Polk behind him. Dylan Holmes advancing to third. So again, the Bruins have runners at the corners and a 3 spot on the board in the bottom of the first so far.
Shortstop number 15, Mason Spellesi.
Mason Spellesi, the next batter for the Bruins, the 8-hole hitter. 3 hits and a couple of walks in the inning for the Bruin batters. Runner goes from first on a perfectly executed hit and run. Lind has to get out of the way of that ball hit. The throw's going to go to third base. Mason will get an RBI on that one. And again, the Bruins playing corner to corner. Holmes scoring on the play to make it a 4-1 lead. Nice piece of hitting there by Mason Spellesi on the hit and run. Hitting behind the runner. In fact, it almost hit Anthony as he was on his way to second. And the Bruins will bat around in the bottom of the first inning as center fielder Jalen Ruffin steps to the plate. Four runs on now 4 hits for the Bruins in inning number 1. A little number off the end of the bat. A nice spear job over there by DeMaria at first base. Dives to make the catch and then dives to make the tag of the base. And the side is retired. 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. 1 inning in the book. The Bellevue Bruins 4 and the Dakota State Trojans 1.
Bruins 4, Trojans 1.
Brutus the Bruin making his way through the crowd this afternoon. Good to see him on hand today for this doubleheader. Here are the 11 guys that will be honored today, the 11 seniors. Rafael Nakandakari, Nolan Walther, Jalen Ruffin, Kenji Miller, Anthony Lind, Braden Anderson, Carter Clairhout, Brady Baltus, Reed Madariaga, Cannon Close, and Brody Burnett. Hope that was 11. I ran out of fingers. Quick look at some of the team comparisons. Bellevue Bruins hitting .344 on the year coming in, .310 the average for Dakota State. Bellevue with 73 home runs, 52 home runs for Dakota State. Pitching-wise, Bellevue Bruins, 4.21 earned run average, 8.73 ERA for Dakota State. Here we go at the top of the second inning. Designated hitter Aiden Marsh will step in. First pitch fastball on the inside corner. Marsh hitting .350 on the year. He's played in about half the games for the Trojans. Marsh, a big 3-run home run in the top of the 9th inning, made it an 8-7 score. And that one gets off the helmet. I think it got the home plate umpire on the face mask as well. So on the hit by pitch, Aiden Marsh will head down the plate. Kind of a glancing blow, so I think he's going to be okay. A couple of weeks ago, Anthony Lynn got hit right in the face, broke his nose. He's been wearing a batter's helmet with a face mask on it from that point on, but Marsh got that one off the side of the helmet. It looks like he's going to be okay, and the next batter will be right fielder Hunter Denboer. Bruin middle infielders, a double play depth. Oak held at third in just a few steps, sweeping breaking balls outside. Braden Anderson back to the hill for his second inning of work. He's the reigning Frontier Conference Pitcher of the Week. Toss over to first base. Marsh not very far off the bag. A lot of times the throws to first are signaled from the Bellevue dugout. In fact, just a one-step lead at first. There's a breaking ball in the zone. Now 1-1 count. Marsh, no stolen bases on the year. Shows bunt. Attempts, comes up empty. So that'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes a count. Denboer adjusts that protective guard on his lead elbow. Now back in, 1-2. Another breaking ball and another strike call. Second strikeout of the game for Braden Anderson as he clips the outside corner. Both of his strikeouts have been against batters looking. So 1 on, 1 out. Here's the 9-hole hitter, left fielder Aiden Barfus. Barfus had 5 hits in yesterday's doubleheader and 3 runs batted in. Lined into left field. A solid single to left will put runners at first and second. As Barfus got a pitch a little bit up in the zone, he got the barrel of the bat on the ball. Now 2 on, 1 out, top of the order. Center fielder Connor Rainey.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Trojan center fielder, number 3, Connor Rainey.
Rainey grounded out to third his first time up. .349 hitter. That puts him third on the team behind DeMaria and Kittredge. Changeup, swung on and missed. About 10 miles an hour slower than the fastball of Anderson on that changeup pitch. Hit into center field. Jalen Ruffin has a bead on it. He'll make the catch, and the runner will not tag from there. Marsh had a little trouble getting back to tag on the base. So 2 on, 2 out for second baseman Aiden Perry. Perry walked his first time up. Came around to score on the RBI double by George Hogan. A couple of Trojan batters have that exaggerated open stance. Then they'll close it up as the pitch is on its way. Part of their batting timing mechanism. Upstairs, ball 1. Similar weather conditions to what we saw yesterday, maybe a little less in terms of gusting winds, but still steady at 15 miles an hour out of the northwest. There's a pitch, top of the zone, strike call, 1-1. First pitch just missed the top of the zone. Second pitch just got the top of the zone. Anderson with the long hold. That one gets through. Chance to throw the lead runner out at third base. The throw is kind of high. And Aiden Marsh gets his foot in under the tag. Quick carom off the backstop there. Xavier Lerma with the throw. Had it been a little bit lower, may have gone Marsh, but the high throw allowed him to get under the tag. So 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs in the inning, 2-1 the count on Perry. Popped up left center field. Spellacy going out. Macris coming in. It'll be Aiden who will call off the shortstop. Outfielders have priority on that play. Macris will make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 base runners left on. Second consecutive inning that the Trojans have left 2 guys on. 1.5 in the books. Bellevue Bruins 4, Dakota State Trojans 1. Mississippi Queen. I don't think this is dedicated to Nolan Walter, the only Mississippi native on the Bellevue squad, but Mississippi Queen by Mountain. Playing some old school stuff here. Nolan will be one of the guys recognized on senior day. He was a 2-year Bellevue Bruin. Rafael Nakandakari, a 2-year member. Nolan, a 2-year member. Jalen Ruffin, a 2-year Bruin. Kenji Miller, a 4-year member of the squad. Anthony Lind, a 5-year guy. Braden Anderson, 2 years. Carter Clarehout, one and only. Brady Baltus is a 1-year member of the squad. Reed Madariaga, same for him, 1 year. Cannon Close, 2 years as a Bruin. And Brody Burnett, a 3-year Bellevue Bruin. So a lot of guys start their careers in junior college before joining the Bellevue program. As we get to the bottom of the second inning, we're back to the top of the order. Nick Gravel, solo home run, launched over the right field fence. He's back up again. First pitch from Rylan Carroll, fastball on the outer half, strike 1 called. Breaking ball comes in at about the same spot, outer half. Now 0-2 the count on the Bruins' leadoff hitter. Gravel, his 3rd home run of the year, his last time up. Lays off that pitch down. Rylan Carroll with kind of a hefty earned run average, over 9. 3 wins and 6 losses on the season. Again, Gravel lays off a pitch off the outside edge. Again off the outside edge, so from 0-2, now 3-2 on Gravel. Gravel, .466 on base percentage. Good numbers for the guy at the top of your order. A little flare out toward the right side. Right fielder coming in. A good read and a catch on the run by Hunter Denboer. And the leadoff man is retired. Hung up there just enough for Denboer to come on and make the catch. Oak held next up for the Bruins. Third baseman walked his first time up. Scored one of the 4 runs for the Bruins in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch fastball. That got a piece of the catcher, Holler. He's going to need a moment to walk that one off. Looks like he's going to be okay. One of the downsides of being a catcher. Foul balls, balls in the dirt. Breaking ball clips that outside corner. 0-2 the count. Right now, a bright, sunshiny day that helps it feel a little bit warmer despite the wind out of the northwest. Nice breaking ball there from Rylan Carroll. He'll pick up his first strikeout of the day. 2 outs in the inning for first baseman Carter Claerhout.
First baseman, number 23, Carter Claerhout.
Carter's been named the Frontier Conference Player of the Week on 2 occasions this year. Also was named the NAIA National Player of the Week. Fastball up and away. Again, mid-80s on the fastball from Rylan Carroll. Breaking ball. Clips the outer half, 1-1 the count. Down low, 2-1. Carter played 1 year at the Prairie Baseball Academy in Alberta and then 2 years at Southern Arkansas University before joining the Bruins. A little chopper up the first base line, and that one will go foul. Now officially foul as it's touched there. Carter settles back in. 2-2 the count with 2 outs, nobody on. That one's opposite field, base hit. Again, the great plate coverage by Claerhout we've seen all season long. He's got power to pull, but also the ability to slap it the other way. Oh, 1 for 2 thus far today for him. And that'll bring up the other half of the Alberta assassin duo, left fielder Aiden Macaris. Off the end of the bat and up to short, Kittredge fields it on the hop and across the diamond to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. 2 innings complete. The Bellevue Bruins 4 and the Dakota State Trojans 1.
Same way, Bruins 4, Trojans 1.
All right, we've got a couple of texts in the queue. Let's see who wants to play along today. The Gravels are thoroughly enjoying the game. I bet you are after Nick hit that solo home run in the bottom of the first. Thanks for the great coverage and a couple of nice emojis as well, including a hockey emoji and a baseball emoji. So we got good balance between those sports. Thanks, Gravels. Cheering you on from Montana, DSU. Looks like a beautiful day for baseball. That's the Armstrongs. I'm assuming that's Austin Armstrong family. Austin had a good start on the mound for DSU yesterday. Austin was one of the guys that's been named Pitcher of the Week in the Frontier Conference earlier this year. Glad you're with us again. And congrats to all the seniors today. Go Bruins, go, from the Macaris family. Listening in up in Okotoks, Alberta, Canada. 402-515-7654 is the number if you want to send along your text greetings today. Finishing up my 16th year of announcing ball games for the Bellevue Bruins. Yeah, I don't look a day over 100, do I? Top of the third inning for the Trojans. 3, 4, 5 spot in the order. Cameron Haller will lead things off. Haller struck out looking his first time up. .329 the season average for Cameron. Takes that first pitch inside, ball one. This is the 42nd game of the year for both of these teams. Fastball chopped to third. Oak held on the two-hopper. Right on the money across the diamond. 5-3 on the play. Oak's done a great job defensively all year long for the Bruins at that hot corner. His second assist of today's game. That'll bring to the plate cleanup hitter, first baseman Cameron DeMaria. Singled his first time up. Lerma sets up on the outer half. That's where the pitch goes. Swung on and missed. Good pop on that fastball. Low to mid 80s is where Braden will deliver that fastball. Here's the 0-1. Low. Braden, the Kearney native, started his college career across the Missouri River in Iowa. Iowa Western Community College. He was a IWCC Reaver for 2 years. 4-0 record there. Breaking ball down low on the 6'9" batter. 2-1 the count. The Reavers is the mascot for Iowa Western. That basically is a river pirate. An unusual name. Breaking ball, that's going to go out of play. Braden was a second-team North Star Athletic Association member last year. 3-1 record with 3 saves. Mostly a starting pitcher this year. Try to overthrow that one a little bit. Full count on the Trojan first baseman. Payoff pitch. And off the front shoulder. That's going to sting a little bit. Kind of came up underneath that shoulder blade. And for the 4th time in this series, Cameron DeMaria is hit by a pitch. 1 out, 1 on. And the batter is third baseman George Hogan.
Number 7, George Hogan.
Hogan had the RBI double that got the Trojans on the board as timeout called so that DeMaria can stretch out a little bit. That's going to knot up that muscle. It looks like he's going to be okay. Has a little visit with his first base coach, and now Carter Clairhout joins the conversation as well. I think first base umpire is part of it as well. It's a party at first base. Here's Hogan awaiting the first pitch from Anderson. Fastball outside edge, strike one called. I was trying not to reference the old TV show Hogan's Heroes all day yesterday. I have to let it come out today. For those of you who lived in the 1960s, you'll know what I mean. Or saw it on reruns. That fastball way wide, 1-1. Breaking ball clips that outside edge. A pretty charitable outside corner where the home plate umpire. It's been consistent both ways. So if they're going to give it to you, might as well live out there. 1-2 the count. You know, when you think about the premise of that show. Here's the 1-2. Sweeping breaking ball once again. The strikeout, the third of the game for Braden Anderson. 1 K in each of the first 3 innings. And that'll leave it up to the shortstop, Cameron Kittredge. He flew out to right field his first time up. Kittredge, a good game with the glove yesterday. Also a good game with the bat with 5 hits in the doubleheader. That was tops amongst Trojan players. Fouled, back to the net. 325 the distances down the left and right field lines. 372 to the power alleys and 390 to straightaway center field. That green hitting background you see behind center field, that is beyond the fence. So if the ball bangs off of that, it's a home run. Anderson again with that little bit longer hold. Breaking ball, foul out of play. 0-2 the count on Cameron Kittredge. Kittredge, the second leading hitter on the team, 383 coming into today's action. 2 out, 1 on, 0-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Tries to push him off the plate. Inside, 1-2. "51 degrees when we started. All the way up to 54 now. Breaking ball again, the sweeper going across. The strikeout, the second of the inning, the fourth of the game for Braden Anderson. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base after 2.5. The Bruins lead it by a score of 4-1.
The bottom of the third.
Watching the team my dad played for means a lot. Let's run it back for another World Series. Go Bruins. That comes from Nathan Hopkins, watching from Kansas City. Nathan, glad you're with us. Family connection there. We got to love it. Yeah, the Bellevue Bruins won the 1995 NAIA championship. That was back in the days when it was played in Sioux City, Iowa. The Bruins have made 15 other trips to the NAIA World Series, most recently in 2023. Bellevue has made the NAIA opening round, I believe, the last 16 consecutive years. Every year that Dwayne Monlix has been here. Oh, that's a pretty good record of accomplishment, huh? All right, here we go with the bottom of the third inning. Catcher Xavier Lerma will lead things off.
Leading it off for the Bruins, the catcher number 12, Xavier Lerma.
Xavier had a single his first time up, and then his courtesy runner, Jackson Polk, came around to score as part of that 4 spot in the first inning. 4 runs on 5 hits thus far for the Bruins. The first pitch from Ryland Carroll misses outside. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Bruins, 1 run on 3 hits for Dakota State. Down low. Xavier played in 5 games last year for the Bruins. Way wide. 3-0 the count. That would be considered a redshirt year for him. He too started his college career at Iowa Western Community College, so the Bruin battery today are both former Reavers. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle of play. Looked like Xavier was taken all the way there. Now he'll be ready to hit if he finds something to his liking. The 3-1. Fouled off the edge of the bat past assistant coach Richie Moore. Coaching at first base. He and Mitch Schmidt like to trade off time at that first base coaching box. Both of them longtime members of the Bellevue coaching squad. Full count. Here's the pitch from Carroll. And a strike 3 call, top of the zone. Xavier doesn't agree with the call, but he's not going to get any satisfaction. Second strikeout of the game for Ryland Carroll, as the leadoff man has been retired. Designated hitter Dylan Holmes will step in. Holmes walked his first time up. Came around to score on Spellacy's RBI single. That one's hit well into right center field. Center fielder giving chase. He won't get there. One hop against the wall right by the 372 mark. And into second base, Dylan Holmes with the double. For Dylan, that is double number 9 on the year. He's in scoring position for Anthony Lind.
Right fielder.
Anthony with a big 2 RBI single his first time up today. Another chance to cash in a run. Again, kudos to Anthony for getting that 200-plus career hits his time as a Bellevue Bruin. This won't be, oh, maybe it will be, or maybe not. Let's see how it's ruled. As Kittredge had to rush to try to get to the area, they'll say an infield single for Anthony Lind. So the Bruins, runners at first and second with 1 out. The batter will be Mason Spellacy.
The shortstop, number 15, Mason Spellacy.
This new complex located just to the south of the Offutt Air Force Base runway, so we see all kinds of planes during the course of just about any day, from small Cessnas to F-15 fighters.
Bryant brings to the plate center fielder number 8, Jalen Ruffin.
Solid defensive center fielder as well as a good guy with the bat in his hand. Down low, ball one. Jalen also a JUCO product. He started his career with 2 years at Northeastern Junior College in Colorado. Wide 2-0. So the North Platte native went west for 2 years and then came east to Bellevue for 2 years of baseball. Used a lot last year as a courtesy runner, pitch runner. Chance to be the everyday starter and center fielder this year. On the outside edge, strike call, 2-1. Jalen with 21 runs batted in. Foul out of play over the bullpen on the right field side. Bullpens and batting cages for both teams at the new facility. Huge new dugouts, complete with heaters. Wonderful for days like today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Line foul once again, right side. Against Carroll, comes set. That one's lined into left field, past the diving pitcher to short. Here comes the runner around third. Dylan Holmes will make it on the head first dive. The throw back to second is not in time. An RBI single. The Bruins take a 5-1 lead. But Kittredge is still down at shortstop. He gave a dive but landed hard on his chest. Thomas Gillespie, Bellevue University's head athletic trainer, will go out to take a look. Also, a couple of members of the coaching staff for Dakota State. As the ball got past the shortstop, he kind of gave a grunt, or not a grunt that you could hear up here, but his face, you could see, kind of showed some exasperation as he couldn't get to it, but it looks like maybe part of that was due to injury as well. So we'll take a few moments to attend to his injury. So Cameron Kittredge, a shortstop, being attended to. I believe it was last weekend when Mayville State was in town. We lost a middle infielder due to a shoulder separation on a similar play on a dive like that, landing hard on the synthetic field, turf field. Sitting up now, that's always a good sign. And he's being pulled up by both arms, so that too is a good sign. We're hoping maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, and it's nothing more serious than that, but we're not going to try to speculate. We don't have an x-ray machine up here that we can zoom out there. Kittredge trying to walk a little bit to see how. It looks like he's going to head to the bench. A nice round of applause from the folks in the stands here as he gave it maximum effort, really extended. Yeah, it looks like he's going to leave. And we'll look to see who the new shortstop will be for the Trojans. Looks like number 14 will be the new shortstop for Dakota State, Chris Vinson, a junior from Lowell, Indiana.
Defensively for the Trojans in at shortstop, number 14, Chris Vinson.
So it looks like Vinson's ready to go, filling in at shortstop for Cameron Kittredge. We hope he's going to be okay.
Number 14, Nick Gravel.
At the plate, top of the order for the Bruins, Nick Gravel. Solo home run to get things started for the Bruins on offense. A fly out to right, his second at bat. Way wide on the pitch from Rylan Carroll. Rylan Carroll and Braden Anderson, the two starting pitchers today, both of them still in there. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Bruins have plated 1 run in this third after 4 in the first. Down the heart of the plate, strike call, 1-1. Again, hi to the Gravel family listening in up in the Maritime provinces of Eastern Canada. On the outside, 2-1. Nick also spent time at that Prairie Baseball Academy in Alberta. And at Hill College in Texas. Down low. 3-1 the count. That one's hit to right field. Right fielder going back to the warning track. He will have room to make the catch to retire the side. Gravel didn't have quite the distance on that one as he did on his first swing today. Side is retired. 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. 3 innings complete in this 7-inning first game of the doubleheader. The Bellevue Bruins 5 and the Dakota State Trojans 1.
Don't forget, if you are a little hungry, the Monster Dogs trailer is here on the south end parking lot area. Thank you all for coming here on our senior weekend here for Bellevue University.
Bellevue Bruins with a 26-game winning streak, trying to make it 27 to tie the all-time Bellevue record from the 2017 squad. If Bruins can get the doubleheader sweep today, they would be the new leader. First things first, as we head to the top of the 4th inning, designated hitter Aiden Marsh will lead things off.
Designated hitter number 16, Aiden Marsh.
Marsh was hit by a pitch his first time up. 2 Trojan batters have reached on the HBP so far today. Again, that wide open stance as Braden Anderson delivers the first pitch of the inning. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen. About a 10-mile-an-hour difference between Braden's off-speed stuff and his fastball. Brand new video scoreboard out in left center field. The pitch clock down in the lower right-hand corner. Chopper off the plate area. May have hit the batter. No call until it's picked up in foul territory by Xavier Lerma. So anyway, look at it. It's a strike call, 0-2. Marshall waits the next pitch from Braden Anderson. Up and away. Anderson comes set just at the belt. And a swing and a miss. Does he throw a knuckleball? Change-up, okay. Had kind of a tumbling look there. Change-up, confirmed by the guys in the booth behind me here. So the strikeout is now strikeout number 5.
Number 36, Hunter Tabor.
Hunter Denboer, the next batter. He is strikeout victim, his first time up. Anderson gave up 1 run in the first inning. Set down the Trojans in the second and the third, and now let's take care of the leadoff man in the fourth. Nice movement there, but it's inside, ball 1. Lerma sets up on the outer half. Breaking ball winds up in his glove on the swing and a miss. Denboer hitting .243 on the year coming into today's action. Breaking ball, clips that outside corner. Anderson getting ahead 1-2. Denboer will request the timeout, so he'll step out of the batter's box for a bit. Denboer was 1 for 7 in yesterday's doubleheader. Batting in the 8th spot in the Trojan order. The 1-2 pitch on its way. Way wide, 2-2. That'll stretch out the catching arm of Xavier Lerma. Again, it's senior day. Bellevue will celebrate 11 seniors playing their final home game of the regular season. The 2-2, little flare, going to be a tough play, and that's going to be an infield single. Hit and spun. Mason Spellacy not able to make a play, so Hunter Denboer picks up his first hit of this afternoon. A 1 on with 1 out for left fielder Aiden Barfus. Denboer, 9 steals on the year, so he's a threat to run. Pretty good lead at first base. Down low on the first pitch to Barfus. Aiden singled his first time up today. Again, the set just above the belt. Inside, 2-0. We've got some of the fans from Dakota State have made their way down from southeastern South Dakota. Throw over to first base, runner back on the dive. They're wrapped up just like the Bellevue fans. We're about 10 degrees below what we should be for this time of the year, average temperature. And that wind out of the northwest has a little bite to it at about 15 to 18 miles per hour. Anderson with the long hold, and that one misses inside. Almost got a piece of the backside of the batter, Barfus. Oh, 3-0 the count. Braden retired the first man on a strikeout, then a flare single, and now 3-0 the count to the 9-hole hitter. There's a strike. Never want to walk the 9-hole guy. Neither team has yet to turn a double play in today's action. Both teams got that feat accomplished yesterday. Strike 2 called. So with the full count, let's see maybe if Darian Hardy, sorry coach, forgot your last name, gets his runner in motion, but down by 4, that would be kind of a risk. Payoff pitch. Throw over to first base, close play, just back in time is Hunter Denboer. Bang, bang play there. Xavier Lerma checks the wristband on the signal from pitching coach Sean Malley. Foul back. We'll do another 3-2. Again, the full count. Swing and a miss. Jammed him inside. Second strikeout of the inning as Anderson works back from a 3-0 count, delivers 5 consecutive pitches in the strike zone. A couple of them fouled off. And that'll take the Trojans back to the top of the order. Here's center fielder Connor Rainey. He's 0 for 2 thus far today. Rainey had 3 hits in yesterday's second game of the doubleheader. 1 hit in game number 1. Sweeping breaking ball gets the outside corner. Rainey from Pflugerville, Texas. One of those fun names to say. Chopper on the ground. Spellacy into the hole. He'll go the short route to second over to Gravel. And on the fielder's choice, the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after 3.5. Bruins 5 and the Trojans 1.
We're going to the bottom of the 4th.
Good afternoon from Red Deer. Thanks for the broadcast. Much appreciated. From Paul Clairhout. Paul, good to hear from you. Paul was here a couple weekends ago, I believe, against the series against Dickinson State. Carter continuing to play excellent baseball for the Bruins. Thanks for joining us via the internet. Rylan Carroll back to the hill for the Trojans for now his 4th inning of work. Carroll has struck out a pair of Bellevue batters, but has allowed 8 hits and a pair of walks. 2, 3, 4, part of the order for the BU Bruins. Here's third baseman O'Keld. Ray Quinn, the PA announcer this weekend for the Bruins. You hear his voice in the background of our broadcast. O'Keld walked and struck out so far today. Up and away, ball 1. Carroll from the windup. Change up that time. Held, swings over the top of it, 1-1. 25-10, 9-4, and 8-7. The scores for the 3 games played as part of this series. Line hard down the right field side, but it's going to tail foul. Two extra base hits thus far for the Bruins. Nick Gravel with the solo home run. Dylan Holmes with the double. One extra base hit for Dakota State, a double by George Hogan. Breaking ball missing away. 2-2 the count. Oak Held leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. Again, game number 1, a 7-inning scheduled contest. No 10-run rule. Second game, a 9-inning contest. 10-run rule after 7 innings if needed. That one fouled off the bat of Held for the second time in this game. Catcher Cameron Haller takes one off the body. You've got a mask, you've got a chest protector, you got shin guards and other personal protective devices, but those foul tips are gonna find you, gonna find your body despite all that. Cameron looks like he's ready to go once again. The toughest guys on the team are usually the catchers. Here's another 2-2 pitch. Again fouled. Carrowing back near home plate. Again, Carroll looks in, begins his windup and delivers. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball on that one. Gets Oak Held for the second time today. First baseman Carter Clairhout heads to the plate.
For the Bruins, first baseman, number 23, Carter Clairhout.
The Lethbridge Bull in the Canadian Summer Baseball League. Western Canada, WCBL. $15 doubles, 1 triple, 17 home runs. The extra base hits accumulated this year. That pitch down. I didn't have that many in my 50-year career. .918 his slugging percentage coming into today's action. And a .530 on-base percentage. Up and away on the fastball. 83 miles per hour on that one. Carter will always be remembered as the guy who got the first ever hit at the new Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Complex. 2-run home run to right center field. And there might be another one. Goodbye, baseball.
Rapid and bubble and ship it.
Carter Clairhout.
Clairhout's 18th home run of the season. A single shot.
18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Both of them tops for the Bruins on the season. He'll step on home plate, look to the sky. Fellow Albertan Aiden Macaris will give him a hug. His teammates come out to celebrate as well. And the Bruins extend their lead to 6-1.
Number 22, Aiden Macaris.
That one got out of here in a hurry. Right off the barrel of the bat. Aiden Macaris looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 2. Chopper down the third base line, backhanded stab there by Hogan. His throw to first base is just in time. A bang-bang play there. And the new facility with 2 first bases, the safety base in green. That's the one to tag if you're a base runner going down on that play. The first baseman handles the white one.
Now batting, the catcher, number 12, Xavier.
Here's Xavier Lerma. Xavier is 1 for 2 today. A single his first time up. Fouled out of play. Little tap of the bat with his fist. He's ready to get back to work against Ryland Carroll. Change up in the zone. 0-2 the count. Carroll, like Anderson, about a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the off-speed and the heater. Off the end of the bat. Picked by Vincent, the shortstop. His throw to first will not be in time. So the first opportunity for new shortstop Chris Vincent, but Xavier Lerma able to beat it out. Jackson Polk will come on as the courtesy runner for Lerma. Second time he's been used today. As designated hitter, Dylan Holmes will step in. Dylan has been up twice and scored twice. Reached the first time on a walk, second time on a double. Lerma and Holmes, the Bruins catching DH duo. We'll most likely see Dylan behind the plate in game number 2. And then Xavier will switch over to being the DH. Off-speed pitch, fouled back to the screen. Runner goes, throw to second base, a good throw right on the money. Strong throw by Cameron Haller, retires Jackson Polk on the attempted steal. One run on one hit, the big home run by Carter Clairhout. No errors, nobody left on base, 4 innings complete. The Bruins with a 6-1 lead over the visiting Trojans of Dakota State. All right, here's that text message number once again. If you'd like to join us on the broadcast, let me know who you are, where you are, words you want me to pass along. 402-515-7654. Braden Anderson back to the hill for the Bruins for now the 5th inning of work. He'll be looking at the 2-3-4 part of the order. Third time through against Braden for the Trojan hitters. Bellevue now 42 wins in this series. Trojans with 5. Former members of the North Star Athletic Association, now members of the Frontier Conference. Bellevue, the number 3 rated team for the 2nd consecutive rating period, poll number 4. Taylor of Indiana, the top team. Georgia Gwinnett, the 2nd rated team. And then the Bellevue University Bruins.
Top of the 5th for the Trojans, second baseman number 4, Aiden Perry.
Aiden Perry will lead things off in the top of the 5th inning. Perry 0 for 1. A walk and a fly out so far. First pitch from Anderson, down low, ball 1. You sniffing that thing or what? Perry awaits the next pitch. Off the outside edge, 2-0 to count. Anderson, a Kearney Bearcat in high school, then an Iowa Western Reaver, and now a Bellevue University Bruins. A 3-0 start on this pitch to Aiden Perry. Braden steps off for just a moment. Now gets back to work. Let's see if he can come all the way back. Perry taking all the way. That fastball down the middle of the zone. Now 3-1 count. Perry from Dripping Springs, Texas. And he'll get the walk here to lead off the fifth. Here's a 3-hole hitter, the catcher, Cameron Haller. Haller 0 for 2 thus far in this one. Nice play by Xavier Lerma to block up that pitch in the dirt. I know it's not dirt, but you know what I mean. Haller had a sacrifice bunt on a squeeze play in game number 1. A home run in game number 2. And fouls that one over the top of the press box, out of play. Three hits on the series for Cameron. Throw over to first base, sends Perry back. Haller, an Arizona native, Kingman, Arizona to be exact. Breaking ball, that one's going to be a base hit to center field. And the first two men reach in this top of the fifth inning for the Trojans. They trail by 5. Courtesy runner coming in. Number 12 is the courtesy runner, Quentin Teets.
Trojans, number 12, Quentin Teets.
So the 2-hole hitter and the 3-hole hitter get on base. And now it's the cleanup man, Cameron DeMaria, the first baseman. DeMaria singled his first time up, got hit by a pitch his second trip, so he's been on base both times. Cleanup guy, doubt they'll be sacrificing here with a cleanup guy down by 5. Swing and a miss. Nice movement on that pitch from Anderson. Again, congratulations to Braden, the Frontier Conference Pitcher of the Week. He picked up 2 wins in conference play last week to earn that honor. Breaking ball off the outside edge. Good sweeper there, but a little too wide. DeMaria, a California native, Fresno. Hit hard, but ahead and foul up the left side. Braden Cubs set and then turns to throw to second base. Lead runner Perry back easily. just off the outside edge. Didn't miss by much. But good play discipline by DeMaria to let that one go. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. A strikeout would be big here for the Bruins. 6 strikeouts on the game so far for Anderson. Foul back. Looks like the Bruins may have had a pickoff play scheduled there behind first base, but fouled. Again, a foul ball off the netting, carrying back to Xavier Lerma. Pretty good battle going on right now between Cameron DeMaria and Braden Anderson. Top of the 5th inning. Double look to second base, a quick throw back, but again, Perry able to get the hand in there before the tag. Swing and a miss, that sweeper. The strikeout, now the 7th of the game for Braden Anderson.
Next up for the Trojans, third baseman, number 7, George Hogan.
Third baseman George Hogan got the first run batted in today with a first inning double. Gave the Trojans a temporary lead. The Bruins put up 4 in the bottom half of that frame and have led since. 6-1 our score. Anderson comes set. Again, looking the runner back. Not once, not twice. Hit in the air towards center field, right center field. Jalen Ruffin in position near the warning track. He'll make the catch. Both runners will tag up. The throw is deflected off the glove of Gravel, going out to be the cutoff man, but no harm done. So 2 outs in the inning. Perry moving up to third. Teets moving to second. And the new shortstop, Chris Vincent, will have his first at-bat after coming on in replacement of the injured Cameron Kittredge. Vincent, a .209 hitter on the year. He's played now in 39 of the 42 games. First pitch upstairs. Anderson letting that throwing arm just kind of hang as he gets ready. Now comes set. Up and away, 2-0. Oakeld playing maybe a step or two deeper with 2 outs. Gravel behind the cutout of the green and brown turf. Top of the strike zone. 2-1. Bruins get the call on that one. Down low for a 3-1 count. Starting to see some of the green leaves peeking out on the trees beyond the outfield fence. We had 80-degree weather earlier this week. 50-degree weather, however, over the 2 days of this 4-game series. 3-1, popped up and out of play. Count will go full. Nobody at first, so the runners will not be on the move here. Payoff pitch upcoming. Vincent awaits and swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning, the 8th strikeout of the game for Braden Anderson. Comes at a big spot as 2 runners left on base. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. Third time today that the Trojans, have left a pair of base runners on to end an inning. Score remains Bellevue 6 and Dakota State 1. Again, congratulations to the 11 seniors who will be honored at the end of today's doubleheader. Over the last 5 seasons, members of this group have helped the Bruins to a 214 win against 55 loss record and a 108 wins and only 8 loss mark in first the North Star Athletic Association and now the Frontier Conference play. Yeehaw time here at the ballpark. Rylan Carroll back to the mound for Dakota State. He would love to have that first inning back. If he did, it'd be a 1-1 game instead. It's a 6-1 game. DH Dylan Holmes will lead things off. DH the DH stepping into the plate. Actually into the batter's box besides the plate will be correct. He was at the plate when Jackson Polk was thrown out trying to steal to end the last inning. Dylan doubled his last time up. Dylan with 9 home runs on the year. He'd love to join that double-digit club that currently includes Carter Clairhout, Aiden Macaris, and Xavier Lerma. Swing and a miss. And again, the catcher, Haller, got hit on an unprotected, maybe a little bit protected. He's going to need a moment or two to recover. You don't have to use your imagination too much to figure out where he got hit with that one. And everybody who ever played catcher can now empathize with Cameron. Third time today he's been hit while doing his catching duties. All right, he's back in his crouch. We're back to the action as Dylan Holmes awaits this 2-1 pitch. Upstairs now 3-1. That one's hammered down the left field side, but it's going to be a foul ball. Into the corner, one of the Trojan reserves. Yep. We'll run down to grab it. Also, Aiden Barfus over there to help retrieve that errant baseball. Full count on Holmes. Hit in the air to the right side. Right fielder Hunter Denboer, a couple of steps back to make the catch just shy of the warning track. 1 up, 1 out in the 5th inning. Bruins have not been able to get their leadoff guy on other than that solo home run leading off the game by Nick Ravel. The other 4 innings, the leadoff guy has been an out. Here's right fielder Anthony Lind. Anthony, a pair of singles.
Number 17, Anthony Lind.
2 runs batted in his opening at-bat single. Infield single his second time up. And off the hip, the hit by pitch. He'll be awarded first base. First Bellevue batter that's been plunked today. The 1-on, 1-out for shortstop Mason Spellacy.
Shortstop number 15, Mason Spellacy.
Mason an RBI single his first time up, and then a fly out to center field his second trip. That one's hit well down the left side, but it's going to be a foul ball. Mason showing a little pop in his bat on that swing. But again, it's going to be real tough to get a home run to the left field side with the wind blowing out of the northwest. Across the field from the left field corner to the right field corner. Tries to check his swing. They'll appeal to first. They say yes, no swing. 1-1 the count. Nice crowd on hand today. At least a trio of puppies as well. Runner goes on the hit and run. Vincent, the shortstop, gets it on the short hop. Tosses over to first kind of casually. And close play there with Spellacy hustling down the line. 6-3 on that play. Lind advancing to second. And here's center fielder Jalen Ruffin. That's a Spanish pronunciation. Jalen an RBI single his last trip to the plate. Opportunity here to plate another one as Anthony Lynn gets his lead off of second base. Swing and a miss. Carroll looks in. Throw back to second base. Anthony able to get that right hand in there in time. Ruffin on the bunt up the third base line. That's perfectly placed as neither the third baseman or the pitcher are able to get there on time. The bunt single will put runners at the corners and take it to the top of the order, and Nick Gravel.
That brings up second baseman number 14, Nick Gravel.
Nick 1 for 3. That solo home run. Home plate umpire signals for the pitch clock to begin with that little waving signal. One of the base umpires actually operates the clock with a remote device. First pitch, outside edge, strike one called. Runner goes, Ruffin from second, he'll stop. And that'll allow Lynn to score from third. A great execution there. 2-6-3 on the putout. But Anthony Lynn comes across to score before the tag applied, and the Bruins add another one. The Bellevue Bruins 7 and the Dakota State Trojans 1. Great execution of the double steal.
Run of no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the 6th. Bruins 7, Trojans 1.
Nice job by Ruffin to get into that rundown to allow Lynn to score on the play. The Bruins through 5 innings with a 6-run lead. Couple more texts in the queue as Braden Ederson back to the mound. His quality start continues. Claire Force 1 takes flight to right center. You betcha. That was that home run by Carter that got out very quickly. Good luck, Bruins, from Colin Allen's grandpa and grandma watching in Luther, Oklahoma. Glad to have you guys with us once again. the Nebraska to Oklahoma connection. The Holmes family watching in Libertyville, Illinois, saying, "Go Bruins." Glad you guys are with us from the land of Lincoln. And we've got one more. Thanks for the broadcast. Love watching my nephew Carter Clarehout play ball. Go Bruins go. And some heart emojis as well in purple and gold. Watching from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Elaine Clarehout. Elaine, thank you for sending along that text and the emojis, and thanks for watching the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Thanks, everybody, from Alberta to Oklahoma.
Top of sixth and leading it off, batting seventh in the lineup, designated hitter number 16, Aiden Marsh.
And Illinois, I forgot where Dylan's family was listening. Thank you very much for sending along those texts today. Top of the sixth inning, bottom part of the order. Aiden Marsh, the DH, will lead things off. Checks his swing on a pitch. They'll appeal to first. They say no swing. Anderson from the stretch. This time he can't check the swing. 1-1. We mentioned the Bruins' overall record of 214-55 over the last 5 years, 108-8 in conference play. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the zone. During that 5-year time span, the Bruins have won 5 regular season conference championships, 4 conference tournament titles, qualified for the NAIA National Tournament every season, and have twice reached the Avista NAIA World Series. A great record of production for the Bruins. Swing and a miss. And the strikeout is the 9th of the game for Braden Anderson.
Up next for the Trojans, right fielder number 36, Hunter.
9 strikeouts against only 5 hits allowed for Braden. Here's right fielder Hunter Denboer. 1 for 2 today is Denboer. Popped up. That's going to get over the backstop, maybe on the press box roof. Bang, there it is. That's a tough angle for foul balls to actually hit the press box roof, as this backstop is 30 to 40 feet up in the air. Another strike on a fastball there. Low to mid 80s on that fastball for Anderson. That one's hit out to left center field. Aiden Macaris on his horse trying to get there. He won't. It'll actually be Jalen Ruffin who'll play it on a hop. And a double off the bat of Hunter Denboer. His second hit of the day. Second double out of 6 hits for Dakota State batters. We saw yesterday that Dakota State just won't lay down and die. They're going to battle all the way through, as exemplified by that 8-7 finale in the second game of the doubleheader. Here's 9-hole hitter, left fielder Aiden Barfus. He's 1 for 2. Down low, ball 1. Barfus, a South Dakota guy. He's from Winner, South Dakota. Breaking ball misses the low again, 2-0. I guess if you're an athlete, you'd rather be from a place called Winner than a place called Loser, huh? One of several home state South Dakota guys on the roster. 2-0 pitch. Chop foul at the third base line. Be sure to stick around. At the conclusion of today's doubleheader, we'll have the ceremony honoring the 11 seniors and their family members who have made the trip here to Bellevue. Nice movement on that breaking ball from Anderson. Evens the count at 2-2. Anderson looks the runner back and now delivers up and away. Full count on Aiden Barfus. Here's the payoff pitch, breaking ball, down low. Anderson wanted the call there, so did Lerma. I think everybody in a purple jersey wanted the call there, but it's low for the walk. That'll put runners at first and second with one out and taking them back to the top of the lineup. Here's Connor Rainey, fourth time that he will face Braden Anderson. Dwayne Monlux out of the Bellevue dugout too, protesting that last non-call. Guys in the first base dugout have a pretty good look at the height of those pitches in or out of the strike zone, and Dwayne still getting in the ear of the home plate umpire. And now Rainey's ready to go at the plate. 0 for 3. Again, a pitch called down low. We obviously can't see high and low from up at the press box. We have a pretty good look at the plate. We're not directly behind it, but we can peek over his shoulders to see. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up on the infield. If it's fair, it's going to be an infield fly. Carter Clairhout calls off his teammates. Good decision for him as the wind was blowing in his direction. So 2 outs now on the inning. Two on, 2 out for second baseman Aiden Perry. Perry's been up 3 times. He's been on 2 times, both of them on walk. So he's shown a good eye on the offerings from Braden Anderson. Down low, blocked up by Lerma behind the plate. Only game today in the Frontier Conference. Way wide on that. What's his pitch count, please, Bill? 107 pitches thrown by Anderson, so his time from here will be pretty limited. Perry awaits. There's a strike called. Now 2-1 the count on the 2-hole hitter, Aiden Perry. Perry with 25 runs batted in on the year. Would love to add to this totals obviously here, but that pitch misses away. Now 3-1 the count. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. Count will go full. That means the base runners will be on the move with the pitch. So a single could score 1 easily. The extra base hit could score a pair. stepping back to second as Mason Spellacy snuck in behind Hunter Den Boer. Runners will go with the pitch. There they go. Here comes the pitch. It's hit in the air to center field. Jalen Ruffin coming on, and he will make the catch as the side is retired. Again, for the fourth time today, the Trojans leave a pair of base runners. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. Bottom of the 6th upcoming. The Bruins 7 and the Trojans 1. Doubleheader baseball action today on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. And it looks like we will have a pitching change for Dakota State. Now on to pitch number 25, Cole Drumheller. Cole Drumheller, no wins, no losses. This is his 7th appearance on the season, all of them in relief. A 7.11 earned run average for Cole Drumheller. He's thrown 6 1/3 innings on the season, has struck out 8, has walked 5, and allowed 6 hits, excuse me. Hey, Drumheller, a native guy, a 6'2 senior out of Papillion, Nebraska. Papillion just west of the Omaha Bellevue area. Dakota State also has a couple of Omaha guys on their roster. That includes Alex Farron, a right-handed pitcher, and Ethan Ferguson, a catcher, both of them from Omaha. But a Papillion native, first in relief for the Trojans here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nick Gravel will lead it off once again. 1 for 3, that one being the solo home run.
Nick Gravel.
First pitch from Drumheller. Swung on and fouled up the first base line past associate head coach Mitch Schmidt. Here's our coach's salute for the Bruins, Dwayne Monlux. 25th year as being a head coach, 9 of them at Dickinson State, now his 16th year here at Bellevue. Associate head coach Mitch Schmidt, he's been here at BU for 20 years. More coaches to come. Breaking ball down low. Pitching coach Sean Malley, 19 years with Bellevue. Assistant coach Richie Moore, 16 years here. And then the new guys, Drew Nielsen in his 2nd year and Ivan Medina in his 1st. Foul back to the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wide and away. 2-2 the count on Nick. Nick continuing to play sparkling defense for the Bruins. A 1,000 fielding percentage. 76 assists, 57 putouts. Little chopper over the pitcher's mound, going to be a tough play. Vincent, as it go off his glove, probably wouldn't have been able to get it on time to get the speedy Nick Gravel an infield single. Second hit of the day for Nick. Oak held the next scheduled Bruin hitter.
Third baseman, number 3.
A walk and a couple of strikeouts for Held. The Pullman, Washington native awaits the next pitch from Cole Drumheller. Wide on that pitch. Short lead at first for Gravel. Throw over there. Gravel back easily. A few more clouds starting to wind their way overhead. We enjoyed a nice sunny start to today's game with some interspersed sunshine and cloudiness now. More clouds expected to come in as the day goes on. Big swing by Held. Comes up empty on that. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Oak's job, try to advance the base runner here. Sweeping, breaking ball down and away. The Bellevue Bruins at one point in the season were 2-2. That was after the opening weekend. They split double headers with Oklahoma City University and Concordia University. After that, the Bruins have just put it all together. Comebacker to the mound. Drumheller fields it, goes to second for the lead out. The throw to first is not in time. 1-6 to retire Gravel. Fielder's choice for Held as Carter Clairhout steps back into the plate. Solo home run on a 2-for-3 day. So Carter continues to add to his numbers. +900 slugging percentage on the year. Drumheller comes set right below the waist. Low and away, working away. Low and away once again. Again, hello to all of Carter's family members. We've heard from them yesterday and today in Red Deer and Calgary. Niagara Falls, I think, yesterday as well. We got a text. And thanks to everybody for sending along their texts yesterday and today. Carter awaits. Again, low down. 3-0. Drumheller being very careful with Clairhout. Let's see if Carter gets a green light here, if Drumheller just eases one in. Yes, he is, and he'll pull it into the right field part of the park. A 3-for-4 day for Carter Clairhout. A little bit down in the zone, but he got a good part of the bat on it. Didn't get a lift, but he'll get the base hit, advancing Oak Held to second, as Aiden Macaris will step to the plate.
Left fielder number 22, Aiden Macaris.
Number 23, Clairhout, followed by number 22, Macaris. Aiden looking for his first hit of the day, 0-for-3. Breaking ball in the zone for a strike one call. The Bruins' only other loss after that opening weekend was as part of their Florida trip. They lost on March 6th in the first game of a doubleheader against Weber International by a score of 8-4. The 26 games since that time have all been W's for BU. That was Line Harbor right at the shortstop. Toss back to second for the double play. A bullet off the bat of Macaris.
For the Bruins in the sixth, no runs,
Shortstop Chris Vinson able to make the play to double off O'Keld.
Bruins, 7.
Held kind of caught in no man's land there. You want to get a secondary lead. That ball hit so hard he didn't really even get a chance to freeze and get back in time. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. As we head to the 7th inning, Bruins 7 and the Trojans 1. Let's see if the Bruins will have a call to the bullpen. Looks like they do. All right, the Bellevue pitcher, Heath Hatchkowski, comes on in relief. Another guy from Red Deer, Alberta.
Pitching change for the Bruins. Now pitching number 26, Heath Hatchkowski.
We saw Heath in yesterday's first game of the doubleheader as well, as he came on in relief there of starting pitcher Kenji Miller. Was not a save situation as the Bruins won that one by a score of 9-4. But Hatkowski got the job done to finish up game number 1 of this 4-game series. Heath, an outstanding 3.18 earned run average. No wins, no losses. This is now his 7th appearance, all of them in relief. 5 2/3 innings on the season. Has struck out 7 and walked 7 and allowed 5 hits. Big guy out there on the mound, 6'5". First year in the Bellevue program for Hatchkowski. He finishes his 8 warm-up tosses. Now he's ready to get to work to try to close out this 7th inning.
The catcher, number 44.
Catcher Cameron Haller will be his first challenge. Hall, the 3-hole hitter. Well, the middle part of the Trojan lineup, trying to keep this game going. They need 6 runs to tie. Hatchkowski working from the stretch. Overhand breaking ball misses upstairs. 7 runs on 13 hits so far today for the Bruins. No errors. 1 run on 6 hits for Dakota State. They too with 0 errors. A solid defensive game by both teams. Fastball misses low and away. 2-0. Hatchkowski working from the first base side of the pitcher's rubber. Comes set at about the chest level. That one down a little bit as well. A 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Let's see if Heath can come all the way back here against Haller. There's a good start. Fastball. 3-1. Down low on that pitch, so Haller will reach once again on the walk. Let's see if the courtesy runner comes on. Yes, he does. Number 12 is the courtesy runner. That is again Quinton Dietz.
Quinton Dietz, number 12, the courtesy runner. Batting next, first baseman, number 5,
Cameron DeMaria. Strikeout victim his last time up. A single and a hit by pitch, reaching base his first 2 trips. Swing and a miss. Challenge pitch there. 6'5" against 6'9". This could be a matchup you would often see on the basketball courts rather than the baseball diamond. Breaking ball, outside half, 0-2. Good bite down and away. Tries to go a little further outside. DeMaria does not chase. Down low. 2-2. Hachkowski, a very deliberate pitcher on the mound, has that very deliberate exhale before he begins his delivery home. He'll come set, exhale, and now deliver. Swing and a miss. The strikeout is the first out of the inning. First K for Heath Hachkowski. So he continues his pattern of 1 walk and 1 strikeout in this inning as he has on the season. 9 strikeouts for starter Braden Anderson. Here's George Hogan, the third baseman. And that's going to be a base hit as it gets through the hole on the left side of the infield. That'll put runners at first and second with 1 away for the Trojans. And bring to the plate the shortstop, Chris Vinson.
Batting next for the Trojans, shortstop, number 14, Chris Vinson.
Vinson struck out his first appearance against Braden Anderson. Vinson coming on after starting shortstop Cameron Kittredge was injured. Low and away, Lerma able to get a glove on it to deflect it. No advance by the base runners. There was a strike called on the breaking ball. Fouled right side, coming back. Good play, Xavier on the rebound. Bruins a perfect 18-0 in conference play, that including a 4-game sweep in the preseason tournament in Sioux Falls, beating Dickinson State, Mayville State, Bismarck State, and Valley City State. 1-2, Hachkowski. Popped up on the right side. Anthony Lynn coming on. And he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Last chance for Dakota State will be the designated hitter, Aiden Marsh.
Aiden Marsh.
Marsh 0 for 2 today, a hit by pitch, and then a couple of strikeouts. His body of work at the plate. Bruins trying to finish it out and get ready for the final game of the series. And then some celebrating, the 11 seniors. Fastball on the outside edge, strike one called. Blocked up by Lerma. Took it off the chest protector. That breaking ball misses up and away. First year as a Bellevue Bruin for Hatchkowski. Also played college ball at Big Bend Community College in Washington and Benedictine University in Mesa. Strike on that fastball. 81 miles per hour. Seemed faster than that. Might have taken a little bit something off. Trojans down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Breaking ball fouled out of play. Pitch clock down to about 3 seconds before that delivery from Heath. Here's another 2-2 offering. Hit and through left side of the infield. Runner coming around third now. Help put up the break sign. Aiden Makaris got to that quickly. Don't want to take any chances, down by 6 runs. So the bases will be loaded after that first single of the day for Aiden Marsh. And that'll bring to the plate right fielder Hunter Denboer.
Batting next, right fielder number 36, Hunter Denboer.
2 hits on the day for Denboer. Foul out of play over the Bellevue dugout. Denboer and Hogan, the only Trojans with 2 hit games out of the 8 total. One and one now the count. Trojans have left 2 men on base in 4 of the first 6 innings. They have the bases loaded here, trying to cash in. Down low on that breaking ball. Chopper on the ground. Oakeld comes on to glove it, to throw it. On the money, and the side is retired. 5-3 on the play. And the Bellevue Bruins keep their winning streak alive with a 7-1 victory over Dakota State. 7 runs on 13 hits and no errors for the Bruins. 1 run on 8 hits and no errors for Dakota State. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins are now 39-3 on the season, 19-0 in conference play. Now a 27-game winning streak that ties the 2017 Bruin Club for the longest winning streak in a season. With the loss, Dakota State drops to 16-25-1 overall, 8-11 in the Frontier Conference. Game number 2 will begin in approximately 25 minutes or so. Right now it is about 3:25, so about 10 minutes to 4 or something in that neighborhood. We'll have first pitch for game number 2. Thanks to all the folks working behind the scenes for their work down there, and all the knuckleheads to my right here in the press box. We'll be back with more baseball. Mick Krupski signing off for now on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.